Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review for July 30th, 2023. We've got, of course, Transformers news, mainline legends like this, and his opponent that's going to be coming along. And we, of course, have the mainline stuff, Masterpiece. A little bit of update on this Cat's Lair, specifically because today sort of marks the end of the first early bird, which is not really that big of a deal, but it's almost there, so it probably will hit it. A little bit of Joe news, a pre-order here and there that's come and gone, and we will talk about that. Some updated pictures on the Biker Mice stuff, a few other miscellaneous items we are going to cover, including Master Universe. But Star Wars, I didn't go into these reveals, pipeline reveals. We'll talk about that in Star Wars a little bit more coming up. Alright, starting out with some cool stuff at Show Z Store. This is the Mod Fans. This is the Ruler green version. I actually couldn't find it the day I was doing the review of this, but they do have the green version up for pre-order, and so that is pretty cool. So the silver one sold out. It was $35. The blue one and this one, I guess, are both going to be around the $37 mark. Pengu Toys has the PT-03 Lion Face Commander Lio Convoy. This is a legend scale, I believe. It says it is going to be 5.91 inches tall, so it's about 6 inches tall. Maybe that puts it into, I don't know, maybe that is a chug scale, but 5.91 inches tall. Not very big, but it is $42. It looks really cool, and so with that, I might get my hands on it and check it out. For pre-order right now is the Cyan Culture YC002, and then this is their Scorponok, which looks like it's going to be very G1-esque, and that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. $2 down. We don't know the price of this just yet, but we do have some updated pictures and some more information about the Metroplex version. C001 is a Metroplex looking type of figure, and it's very G1-esque. And so we're finding out that this is going to cost 720 to 730 Chinese yuan, and with that converted over is about $102 to $103 depending on the conversion rate at the time. So here is the one of the base modes, and it looks pretty good and very much sort of a G1-esque type of base mode, and I kind of like how they got it going on. So it looks pretty cool. We got updates on this, and this should be coming sometime by the end of the year. So it looks like it's moving along okay, but not probably as fast as people would like. So also we should be getting the other one after this one, of course. Okay, so we had some sort of an event in Hong Kong, and this is Transformers Fan Expo going on over there, and so Hasbro, of course, had a whole lot of stuff that they were showing off and showcasing. Obviously, Hasbro's going to have some of the mainline stuff in there, and I know we usually talk about Masterpiece first, but there's some Masterpiece stuff we're going to look at here in just a bit, but just kind of saying the stuff we've already seen before, but it is being showcased, of course, and with that, you can't have Takara at an event like this without, well, Hasbro without Takara, I guess, with this. So Takara is showing off some of their stuff that they have coming, so it's pretty interesting and exciting what's going on there. But most of this stuff we've already seen, so there's not really a reason to spend too much time covering this, but there is some other third-party stuff at this event. Yellow Park is a licensed third-party manufacturer, and so they had some of their stuff on display right there, and they actually have a few things that are pretty cool and very G1-esque. They have their mini Starscream, which I think looks pretty cool, and so with that, I don't know exactly how tall the minis are. They say the AMK mini is 10 centimeters tall, which is about 4 inches, so I guess that puts all of these in sort of the Legends size. So anyway, there's the Starscream. Here's the Grimlock that they have that they're showing off. That looks pretty good in the Dino mode. Now these are non-transformable, of course, and so with that, looking pretty decent over there. Here is the Soundwave. So they are G1-esque, still a bit of the stylized look to it, not super beholden to the G1 look. And we have, of course, the Bumblebee. And there's going to be a Bumblebee in all of these, and then seems like these days, and then Megatron. I just don't remember seeing these looking this close to G1, but with the paint on, all that kind of stuff, of course, that is going to make it look better. Okay, so then the bigger ones, 20 centimeter tall. This is looks like there's a Rhinox that they have going on right now, which looks pretty cool overall. And then we also have their Scourge, I believe. Well, the movie ones is still kind of hard for me to tell. I did watch The Rise of the Beast. It was pretty good. I think that is the Scourge version. Plain Toys was there showing off their Megatron for Beast Wars, and so that looks pretty good too. And they do pretty good work too. I kind of feel like the Yellow Park and these are all sort of in the same vein, or kind of going for the same similar type of look. Here is the Starscream, which of course this is even more stylized than what Yellow Park's up to and what's going on over there. So with that, it does look pretty interesting and all colored up and painted up and that kind of stuff here. And then there's a shot of a few more of these with that Megatron. And so maybe what I keep thinking of, and I keep kind of confusing these companies because they do make non-transforming, higher end, more expensive ones. So that's probably what I've got going on. Now back to Yellow Park with their model kits. And so this is Megatron and Optimus Prime model kits. And so 35 and 30 centimeters tall respectively on those two. And so with that, just kind of showing what they've got going on and where they're going. I still don't know if I've seen the $2,500 Optimus Prime completed just yet, that gigantic one. And then Plain Toys showing off more of their Jet Power Armor official gallery of Optimus Prime here. So that's looking pretty cool. And again, non-transformable, and you get these parts for it. So that is interesting. 7 LEDs. More pictures. We've been seeing this as it's been going, just more updated color photos. Okay, so we've got this other one here. This is another one of the Battleship figures that is from Hanen Ship. Okay, anyhow, it does look pretty cool, and it does turn into a battleship, and it looks like a pretty good sized robot already. Here it is in its battleship mode. So there's another battleship coming along, and I know some people are really excited about this because, and why are people excited about this? Because it's just something different that really hasn't been done before or done to this level, and some people are really excited for this. We got in-hand images of Trans Art Toys BWM11 Metal Tarantula. This is Tarantulas, and I think it looks fantastic. I think this company does a great job. The only downside is I thought they used more die-cast than they do, so they're a little bit lighter than I'd expect, but they keep a good price point. The paint is on point. They look really good, and if anything sort of pops off, it pops right back on. I haven't had anything actually break on me, so that's a good thing. So here he is in his bot mode, which I think is the most important, and I don't think this is at all just a reuse of their Black Arachnia, but I might be wrong, and somebody might be able to prove me wrong. I don't have the Black Arachnia, but I think this looks really good, and there is Tarantulas. So we got non-NAF production monster-sided paddling near Dinobot Island, Loch Ness. So this is supposedly going to be a paddles, and I'm not sure of anything. It's a teaser, so is it going to be a Masterpiece scale paddles Dinobot? This is the age where you get into the stuff that's not really been made before, and if it has been made, it was too small, didn't really scale with Masterpiece. So I am curious how big this is and what happens with it, but there's the teaser so far. Sure, we'll know more next week. We got more test shots on this Metagate here, and so this is a triple changer, and I've seen some of this stuff getting updated, and now they have sort of some color to it, but actually being able to pull this off, Metagate pulling this one off here, to have all modes. Here's the car mode, and so I think that's what most people are excited about, and that's the thing. We saw the proof of concept and all this, and now it's becoming a reality, and this is an actual test shot, meaning that it's come out of the mold, so that means it's getting much closer to production. Here is the jet mode. It looks like a big boy, and that'll work. So I know other companies such as Hasbro hasn't been able to pull this off as a triple changer, and it's one of those things that I guess they retrofit and reverse engineer and make it happen. I don't know how they're doing it, but it looks pretty good overall to me. And KFC's going to be putting out this version of Power Master Optimus Prime, and I'm not really 100% sure what the whole point of having like a cardboard piece to put over the chest is for, but they did that, so that's a thing that they did. So it's pretty cool that it's coming out. I'm not sure if the price point I'd be willing to pick it up, because it is a bit obscure, but it does look really good. So, and the base mode doesn't look terribly crazy to go into. It's not like an X-Transbots trailer kind of deal, so I think it looks good. It's very, very tempting the closer it gets to putting this one out. I thought they've done this one before, but anyway, still tempting. And we got the box art for Fans Hobbies MB-23 Destroyer, and it's ready to ship, or shipping soon, very soon. So we've been watching this project go for like a year, and it's almost... This is a really cool boss, really cool characters. The interactivity between the two of them is pretty cool. So anyway, a lot of people looking forward to this too, and should be showing up relatively soon. A little bit of Fans Toys news. So there's a video on Fans Toys YouTube channel about how to change out this chest piece. So if you bought this chest piece separately, then you have to pull the pin or tap out the pin originally in there to remove the old one. It's not easy. I mean, it looks easy, but it's not as easy if you don't have the right tools, and you could scratch up your paint and all that kind of stuff. So be mindful of that. And so I have another one of these coming. I don't think I'm going to be tapping the pin out of mine, so I probably won't be swapping them out. If I want the gold, then that's... I don't know. I felt this should have been a little bit easier of a swap. A screw would have been nice or something along those lines, but that's not how it goes. So anyway, you have to pull that pin. And someone tell me what I'm looking at here. This looks like a Road King set up to be half of the base. Like someone really wants the rest of that digital render of the Road King ready to go. I don't know. Is this really Fans Toys? It says like at Fans Toys, or is this somebody else just making their own Photoshop picture together to just get people excited? I don't know, but there it is, and this is cool. I know that so many people are excited for this, and to see those renders and to see it coming along it gives people hope. Hope can be dangerous. Okay, so we got some Legends news here. Pictures of this hound that is different coloration, more of, I guess, closer to a toy color that's coming out, but it still looks pretty good. This is New Age, and I have the Magic Square, but the more pictures I see, I kind of want to check it out and give it a shot, but I can't seem to find a Magic Square versus New Age side-by-side comparison, because I want to see that, because I just think New Age is just a little too short on this guy, but, you know, I want to see it before I can make a decision. DX9 is making a mini 01 triple changer, double clouder, double dealer. This is, so like size is unknown and all this. Everyone believes this is a Legends scale, and this is only one of the 3 modes, so still pretty cool that they're getting into this and making something different that other people are not. And then, you know, DX9 more or less started it all, right? Didn't DX9 start the Legends, and now they're circling back? But, you know, I thought they were done, but they're not done. So they're some unfinished business, I guess. All I gotta say is, darn you, Magic Square. I'm doing everything I can to not buy this thing. I'm trying to fight it off, but it looks so good. I'm hoping they have like an EX version down the road or something along those lines. But even with just the flat plastic on it, it still looks amazing. They just did a phenomenal job with this thing. And they do the designs very well. I think that's kind of where their strength is, in the design and all of that. So very impressive in my opinion. I do think this picture here shows it all with it being held in hand. That's a good sized bot, and he just looks really good. And it looks like he's pretty strong. Like you're just holding this thing up and he is holding his stance. That's solid. Awesome. Another really cool picture from Miller Time showing what I really like to see, and not very many people have to show a comparison. And so this is the New Age on the left, Pengu on the right, which I got the Pengu one. And then in the middle is, I guess, the G1 one of this. So really cool, really good looking, and that works. That works. It's a great comparison shot. Okay, so we got some Hasbro stuff going on here. This is the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, and they call this the 3-pack of Troop Builders. And so I'm guessing this is all going to hit Target. So that's my expectation. And this is kind of cool. When I first saw these, I didn't really get it. I mean, I saw what they were doing, but seeing them now, like somebody's got their 3-pack going on out here, it makes more sense. It really does. So I'm not sure about pricing on all this stuff just yet, but it looks pretty cool. This is a Seeker 3-pack, and that's kind of fun too if that's something that you're into. Troop building these things, that would be kind of cool. But then there's this other 3-pack here, and if you're interested in troop building all these things, background characters or whatever, I mean, I don't know that there's that many people that are really needing that many background characters, but we also have Alicons, so I think the Alicon one is probably going to be the most popular, because that makes a lot of sense to troop build those, and they are going to be, theoretically, they should be more accurate to the cartoon, or even the 86 movie, but not sure. Still, it looks really good overall with these 3-packs. So it looks like we got part of this Jurassic Park collaborative Autobot JP12 in hand image here. And so we did have another set that they made last year or the year before that basically all these crossovers seem to go on clearance and not sell out very fast. So the crossovers are an interesting idea and just kind of some fun there, but not the most popular thing because of the price point, I think. I think they're just way too expensive. But anyway, this does look pretty cool overall. Price point $75, and then you'll also be getting the Spitter figure is the other one that'll be coming with down the road. So this Grimlock was at my Walmart like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I know I saw it before I made last week's video, but it's sold out. I mean, people jumped all over this. They love this Grimlock, and it's a good mold. I didn't think I was going to spend $60 on it after tax. Toxitron collection version, and it looks like they're doing, I guess, official pre-orders are up at Walmart and Walmart.com and Pulse, and of course sold out at both, and that's quite impressive. I didn't think a recolor of this was that big of a deal, but then again, when you think about it, the regular ones sold out too, and when do you ever see a yellow Grimlock? So I just didn't think a yellow Grimlock would be popular. I thought a blue one would. Like a blue one, a G2 one would be really popular, but the yellow one is even more popular? Strange. We got in-hand images of this Nacelle Seeker, and they're tapping into the old Siege mold, and that's $35 right there. So just seeing somebody handling it on their own, that's a lot of fun to check that out. Here's the alt mode, and remembering the alt mode, it's a Tetrajet. That's not really a Tetrajet. It's a sort of a faux Tetrajet, but it's got the likeness feels to it, right? We got more pictures of this Hazlab, so if you've signed up for this Hazlab or you've backed it and paid for it, then it's on its way. It's coming along pretty quick, and you know, one of the things that really surprised me, and I think I've said this before, is the vac metal. I didn't know they were going to do vac metal on it, but I wasn't watching it as closely as if I was backing it. I will admit, if I'm backing something, I put my money behind it. I pay a little more attention to it. So, but I do like the vac metal on the bow, or whatever you want to call this chest bow part. Here he is right here. So updated pictures, that's nice, and I actually think this looks better than what they did with their Star Saber, but they're still going to be a nice pair to have side by side on the shelf. Okay, so I want to kind of wrap up the Transformers segment here, but I want to talk about pre-orders going live for this Transformers Legacy Evolution War Dawn 2-pack, and it is $50, and you, of course, get two figures in here. You get the Ariel and the Orion, the Ariel and Dion. Yeah. So anyway, the Orion packs and the Alpha Trion 2-pack, that one was a little more expensive. I'm so happy I bought that. I don't know if that one ever made it to a warehouse deal or not. I think this will probably make it to a warehouse deal, but I'm not making any guarantees. If you want it, get it. That's all I got to say. It's just recolors of other figures, but I don't know if I've ever seen this good of a Dion made, and if it matters to you, then you want to get in on it. But it's funny because a lot of these pre-orders that don't sell out, but then we see others that do. So I'm going to roll into some G.I. Joe stuff real quick. So Chuckles went up for pre-order, and was it Friday? So technically for me it was yesterday. For you it's 2 days ago. So anyhow, I did pre-order mine, and it's already sold out. And when I pre-ordered it, I was hours after it went up to pre-order, and I had no problem pre-ordering it. I was just shocked that it was still there. I was like, everyone made a big deal about this, and it was still there. And then I was thinking, you know what? I bet you this thing is one that doesn't sell out, but it's sold out now. So it's a exclusive. It was a Comic-Con exclusive, and with that, I was starting to wonder, will this get a separate release without all those extra pieces? But it's not like he really comes with that much. It really does feel like they're just forcing you to pay more for this guy. And to me, he's not that great of a character, but I know I kicked myself I didn't pre-order one, so I had to pre-order it. But it's strange. This guy sells out right away, that 2-pack doesn't. Okay, I wouldn't say Chuckles sold out right away, but you can get these two pre-ordered right now on Target.com. Now, Pulse is sold out, and I want to say something real quick about this Pulse versus Target. And I have to admit that Pulse ships their stuff, and I haven't had anything arrive in really bad shape from Pulse. Pretty good, pretty solid, even though they use, I don't know, some sort of strange paper that's not plastic, it's not bubble wrap. but it's weird what they use. But their stuff arrives in great shape, and lately it's just been very dependable and cheaper than like other places like BBTS. But Target has canceled almost everything I pre-ordered. So I knew people were telling me about this like a last year, a year ago, but I'm starting to experience this since January. It's been hard to get a pre-order actually to show up from Target. It makes no sense. But then it'll show up, the product will show up to the stores 2 months later on clearance. It makes absolutely no sense. So it makes me apprehensive to want to pre-order this at all, but I don't know. Okay, so we got some new pictures of the His Tank and the boxes that we're going to get the figures in, which blows my mind that they're not going to put plastic in Hazlab packaging. Like, come on, guys. You can't put plastic in those boxes. But at least the Cobra Commander is coming like that. That looks really cool that we get it with the Cobra Commander in the retro packaging. I like that. And then, of course, they did show the box for the His Tank itself. So this should be coming relatively soon. I know a lot of people are upset that they don't have this before we back the Dragonfly, but we should be seeing them pretty soon. I'm not a huge fan of this packaging, but some people are, and of course it is meant to be a little bit different, and there it is, definitely different. So I guess the cat's out the bag, and I'm allowed to talk about this topic now. So the Red Gullwing it's already been manufactured, it's made, it's shipped. I have my official one. The one in this picture is the test shot. And I want to point out that Ramen did get some communication from Hasbro to take all information down, packaging, all stuff. Just it's a C&D order. Now, what's going to happen is this is what I didn't know. I just found this one out. Is that they are going to do another run of this, but it is not going to have any type of similar packaging. So completely different packaging. It's going to be pretty bare bones like this, and you'll get a sticker sheet to put your stickers on. So they're going to make it available to people that didn't get it right away like I did, but it's going to be different. So similar, same, different. They are going to make some enhancements to it though, so there will be some enhancements such as the helmet, such as it's going to looks like back metallized, I believe, on the wing guns and some other stuff. So it's not like you're getting a lesser of a product. It's just they have to make some alterations to sell this without getting in trouble, and they don't really want to get in trouble. They just want to make fans happy. And so with that, the Red Gullwing, I'll tell you when and how to order it when it's time. All right, so the Cat's Lair is at 75% funding, and it's so you can get this little key. I don't think they have it in this graphic here, but there's supposed to be like a key that you're going to get. It's a 4-inch, allegedly life-size key. And then the Tier 1 bonus at 4,000 backers is a Swords of Omens, a Claw Shield, and a Lab set. And then you're going to get Tier 2, you get the Ultimates Astral Projection Lino. So everybody gets the Tier 1 and 2 when it hits 5,000. I think they're going to hit 9,000. It's at like 2,400 right now. I think it's going to hit 9,000, like 8,800, 9,000. I think that's where it's going to stop. That's where it's going to end up. But I might be wrong. It might only hit 6. But I'm 100% sure it's going to hit the 5,000 backers, because this is such an amazing set. But it is pricey, but it's worth it. And it's that old adage, you pay your $750 plus tax, so $800 now, or you pay $2,000 later. Oh, by the way, if you want to get that key, you have to back it by midnight on Sunday night. So I don't know if I'm going to back it by then. If it funds, I probably will back one, and I'm really debating whether I get 2. We'll talk more about that. Okay, so Nacelle showed official pictures of their bikes. Now, they did have these on display at STCC, but it was a little hard to see them, and this shows everything, so you can see everything. There's something I don't know about this, though, and that is the price. So this is Vinny's Radical Rocket Sled. I'm hoping the figures are $40. I'm hoping they can get these out. They don't look super extravagant. I don't see why they'd be much more than $50. But then again, I might be eating my words, and I'll tell you after I show you all of them what I'm gonna do, because I do want these bikes. I think that it's cool. I do have a Biker Mice collection, a small, modest Biker Mice collection. It's not complete, but I want to say that I would like to have these to go with them. And I think these will fit your 2006 figures too, the taller ones. This is Throttle's Martian Monster Bike, and it looks pretty good. One downside is you do not have chrome on any of this, so That's kind of sucky. It's just kind of a bare plastic look to it, but that's the route they're going to go. I still think it's interesting to go with the bikes, and they're giving us the bikes that we all wanted. The fans all asked for it, so we get it. So this is Moto's Mondo Chopper. So I think they did a pretty good job with this one too. So this one looks pretty cool, except for the fact, of course, it's not back metalized, but getting a cartoon look to it, and just the fact that we're getting them in, and the fact that it's not back metalized is why I'm saying a $50 price point. Like, don't come out with some silly $70 or some nonsense. 40, 50 bucks. I mean, I just can't see these. I can't see these being much more expensive than 40 or 50 bucks. So I think they look great for what they are for the price point. And they come out 70 in no chrome, they're not going to sell. Here's how I'm going to buy mine. I'm going to wait for a sale once they're actually in stock on Nacelle and order it all from Nacelle when there's 15% off on one of these holidays. They do 50% off everything on the site, and that's my plan. Ryan Reynolds to co-produce Nacelle's Biker Mice from Mars animated series, and yeah, that's cool. He's going to be involved in this. This is some new news that just popped up. We'll see what's going on. Ryan Reynolds is supposed to be doing a lot of other stuff too, so that hasn't quite panned out, but still, we'll see how that works out. Nacelle really likes to move forward with this kind of thing, so I really do think this is more on par. But Ryan Reynolds made a lot of money with that Mint Mobile. In the world of Motu, there is this complete series of He-Man Masters Universe for the Kitty DVDs, and so with that, you get the whole series. It's stick a fork in it. This is done. It was fun and one and done, I guess. I guess that's how you say it. But the designs are a little bit quirky. It's a little weird, but it'll forever be part of He-Man history. 20 bucks at retail. We've got an all-new low for Masters of the Universe, though. And it's not that He-Man series. It actually wasn't a horrible series. It just wasn't really targeting me. But $3 Roton. So I just want to stop and say thanks to all the viewers that told me to wait and catch this on clearance, because I thought 10 was a good price. $3. So I start to wonder how good of deals you're going to find on Motu stuff at retail as they transition away from the toys at retail and go into the toon look at retail. And I don't know if the Origins vehicles will still be in line with toon. That's a big question mark, but I have a feeling all of this toy stuff is going to see massive clearances between now and the rest of the year. Alright, so the HasLab Ghost is funded, fully funded, and I'm sure they're on their way to the tiers. I'm sure it's going to hit all the tiers. It's got 38 days to go to do like 8,000, so not even do double what it's done now in 38 days. Sure will. Now, I want to say this is big. I'm glad a lot of people are excited for it, and I'm happy that people are getting it. I'm also happy that I'm not getting it. So it's one of those weird things that I never thought I'd be like this, but it's not something I'm interested in. I'm more interested in the original trilogy stuff, but I think it's cool for what it is. I can admire it from afar, and I can enjoy other people's joy on this. But I'm not going to be backing it, but I probably will get 2 Cats Lairs. And I do want to point out a lot of stuff. You cannot scalp this. You cannot scalp a Cats Lair, but you can will another one into existence for a future collector that wasn't here for this. So think about that. If you want to get an extra one of these for someone down the road, help them out. That's what I'm doing with the Cats Lair. Okay, so this Vintage Collection $40 Chrysanthemum is up for order, and there's plenty for everyone. So don't worry. Don't worry. You don't have to drop everything right now. You don't have to pause the video. You can wait till the video's over. You might catch this in a sale. $40 for a Vintage Collection figure is just... What are they thinking? That's too much. I think it's cool, and I think it could command 20. But 40, that's literally double what I'd be willing to pay, and I'm not really excited about paying 20 for it either. So 40 is just off the table. I know it's got crazy packaging, that's cool, whatever, but wow, 40 bucks. I did not talk about these future pipeline reveals last week. It was so much. Last week was just so much that my head was spinning. I feel like I'm on a little bit of a news hangover this week. And I'm kind of happy for it in a way. But now we can kind of go back and talk about this a little bit because I didn't have time. This is a retro collection, and hundreds of people have said this. But when you talk about the Phantom Menace, when the Phantom Menace puts a whole wave of Phantom Menace out, it kills a line. and dies at retail. I don't know if these will hit retail. This might be one of those things you have to special order. It says Target on it, so maybe it's Target exclusive. But retro collection versions of these. I don't know how many people are excited for this, but it's just one of those weird things. I didn't know they'd go there with this, and I'm curious to see how it goes. I'm not super excited for it, and I'll wait for a sale. But oddly enough, I kind of want the droid. So, I mean, out of all of them, and a Qui-Gon maybe. But I'm just not really super into the Phantom Menace stuff. But there's such a glut of Phantom Menace still out and about, and it's easy to get. So this, I kind of feel, will be the same way. So we got some, I believe this is the Black Series, is what it looks like on the slide here. And I don't know all these Fallen Order characters. I don't know them all, so that's what's coming. And I don't know. I'm not too concerned about it, but they look cool. They look really cool. When it comes to this Fallen Order, there was a one character that's important in it. I don't know. I don't keep up with the modern stuff that much. It's not as interesting as what it was in the past, which gets us into the Vintage Collection. So with the Vintage Collection, I'm confused. I thought we got most of this already. I mean, I know we got a Grogu in his pram. I know we have a Vintage Collection Mandalorian, but this must be the Mandalorian with more armor and all that kind of stuff. And then there's a couple more of these figures, these characters that are going to be in the Mandalorian suits. So I mean, I kind of understand that because they've gone so deep on it. So let's keep going. But who really wants a Finn, and who really wants, is it Poe? And then and clone troopers always sell, and Dooku's kind of cool. But I don't know. What do people feel about this? I know we're on the road to 1,000 Vintage Collection, 1,000 without completing the original trilogy. Where's the original trilogy? And sadly enough, the answer is going to be, when they make original trilogy collectors, the original trilogy characters do not sell that well, is what you're going to hear from Hasbro. So sadly though, that's what people want. And lastly, I do want to talk about something. This is something that I got from Nerdzoic. It popped up in my feed on YouTube. I watched it while I was doing a bunch of other stuff, and so in the background, just kind of hear names rattled off for reissue figures they're going to reprint. Dr. Aphra's one of them. This is one that I picked up that I was kind of reluctant, but my son was so excited about getting one, so I was like, all right, I'll get one too, if you're getting one. So, and she's a cool looking figure overall, but they're going to put her back out along with like 20 other ones or 12 other ones. You can go watch the Nerdzoic video. He'll tell you all about it. But this is the only one that really caught my eye that I was like, felt like it was one that really needed a reissue. The rest of them didn't feel like they needed a reissue, but I could be wrong on that one. But this one's the one that I hear people clamor for that didn't want her at all when she was out at retail, which is kind of strange. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I missed? Because I like to know. Like and subscribe to Dear Hanger Out.